Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a response video from a question that I got on my recent crankbait color video. Now, that video admittedly was more for crankbait fishing in kind of the mid-south region, here in Tennessee, Alabama, Virginia, all the way to the Ozarks, and really all the way down to even some of the southern lakes in Texas as well. But I kind of left out Florida just a little bit in that video, so I wanted to tackle that. But the question was, how do you feel about craw patterns down in Florida? I fish a ton of small lakes and don't think I've ever seen a crawfish down here. I've thought about them as a tilapia presentation and just to give the bass something they don't see much of. All right, so this question was from Zach G. Thank you for the question, Zach. So let's dive right into it, because I lived in Florida for many years. I love Florida fishing. It's actually one of the things in fishing that I feel the most proficient at, and I love it every time we've got a tournament that goes down to Florida, which kind of sucks because I'm fishing the Opens next year and we don't even go to Florida until October. What is that all about? Not going to Florida for like the first or second event? Man, it's just going to feel wrong. But anyways, so to answer your question, in the video that Zach was kind of asking that question about, I talked a lot about crawfish patterns using red crankbaits and things like that, like this Rayburn red crankbait right here. And admittedly, in Florida, the choices are completely different. You go all the way, like I said, south of Texas, or the south side of Texas, Rayburn, Toledo Bend. These are very popular colors. Obviously, this one's called Rayburn Red because it's so good and effective down in Texas. All right, but down in Florida, I really never got into throwing, these bright red colored crankbaits. Imitating of red crawfish just isn't something that I did much in Florida, and isn't as popular as other southern fisheries during the colder months. And so I'm going to show you some of my favorite colors specifically for Florida, because I think Florida is completely different. I don't think the majority of the crawfish are turning that bright red. You can throw crawfish colored crankbaits and you can throw the red sometimes and they will react to them, but especially once you get up north of kind of the Harris Chain and lakes like that, that region, Central Florida and South Florida, I definitely don't tend to throw the crawfish imitating crankbaits near as much. But once you start getting towards like Lake Seminole and that northern part of Florida, red starts gradually playing more and more of a role. But here are three different kind of colors that I love to throw in Florida, pretty much all year round that I'm throwing crankbaits. I've found that really Florida is very unique in the fact that pretty much all year round when I'm throwing crankbaits, I like to throw shad colored crankbaits or bait fish colored crankbaits. I don't generally throw the crawfish near as much. So some really popular colors, number one, gold. This one right here is a sexy shad gold finish, and this one tends to work very, very well. Gold is just a really good color, especially for the tannic stained water that you see in most of the Florida lakes. And so like if I'm fishing the Kissimmee Chain or Harris Chain or even Okeechobee, a gold crankbait or lipless crankbait is going to be one of my first choices. Now, for some reason, shiny just seems to kind of be the common theme here, but a gold and silver is also very, very popular in Florida. Don't ask me why gold and silver is so popular, but it is. So like a chrome body with a blue back is one of the most popular Florida combinations, and I don't know why. I honestly don't, because usually I just tend to gravitate towards a solid chrome body or something with more gold in it, because that's what I have confidence in. But let me tell you, a lot of money has been won off of a chrome blueback crankbait in Florida. Now, there's more and more companies that are offering this color scheme, but one of my favorites, because it kind of incorporates those two different colors that I just talked about, is this one right here. I don't know what this is exactly called, but it's got a little bit of gold on it, it's got a little bit of chrome, and it's got a little bit of blue back. There's several companies that make something similar to this, and so this right here, if I was to name it, I would call this one the Florida Special. That is a magic Florida color to me, and with that color you cannot go wrong in my opinion. But in general in Florida, I'm usually going to stick with more bait fish oriented patterns and something that's a little bit shinier, especially on those sunny days that are very plentiful down in Florida. And so yeah, I don't throw the reds near as much. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't. If you know, maybe you start seeing more crawfish in your live well, but in general, you know, the shad and bait fish patterns seem to be where it's at even during the winter time in Florida. So thank you for the question. Hopefully this answers it sufficiently, and make sure you drop a comment below if you agree or disagree, or if you have any more questions. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll see you out on the water.